Now, this morning, the Nairobi Santa Run has been launched. The event, meant to fundraise for philanthropic cause, was launched by a businessman and philanthropist, that is Manu Chandaria. Let's listen in.
Is this? Please open your hearts. And every corporate, and let's take, for example, if there are 500 corporates in this country, which are good, which are, I would say, what they call, in America, they call it top 200 and top 500. We've got 500 over here. In its own way, it all decides that, yes, this is a social responsibility we have, and we must take. Then, this country will change faster than ever before. None of them wants the help. All these girls, none of them wants help. They only want help to lift them to a status where they can work for themselves and show their mettle. And this is what the living example over here. And the same thing is in Mataria. I think that all we require is to get the conscience of Kenya awakened. It's not doing anything extraordinary for other people. It's doing our duty. It's something which hurts you, which touches you. Why don't you do something about it? It's always nice to put it on a chalk and a blackboard, something, and wipe it out. And that's what we are doing, day in and day out. I would say that these heroes who are prepared to do something for others in a manner which is befitting and keeping the dignity of others up, not making them to beg. These ladies two over here, sitting over here, those 70 or 80 old people could be begging in the streets. But they've decided, no, they will give their life to look after them. And many people who are supporting them also knows that for a good cause. So all of us have got a compassion. All we want to see is how we can make it happen. And this, I must say, is an interesting, a yearly story. And then let me come back onto this ordinary part of the life. I think some few years back, I was invited to see the Olympics. That was the first time I went to see Olympics. I was invited to Britain, and I saw Rhodesia won that 400 meters. I'd not known Rhodesia. I celebrated Rhodesia, and I announced them that I'll give you 10 million Kenya shillings to put up a track in the place where he comes from. He comes from a place which is not the champion's village. It's not Iten. It's not Eldoret. I can't remember now the name of the place, but where he comes from. So I told him, go ahead, and I'll support you. We build up. Now the PS is over here. Previous to your PS, yourself, there are many other PSs already come and gone. It's 6 years now. That 10 million is still sitting in my bank, and the children don't have the track. Why? There's no land. Is that we don't have a piece of land in that area? Who cares? The whole thing is who cares? And I'd like Mr. Kiberia to take it up again. My 10 million is still sitting, and I want more children to be run. Because as I told you that I cannot run. Now at this age, I can hardly even walk more than a few minutes. But let's give a chance to our people. Because, let me tell you another story which was interesting. My son lives in Singapore. And when I go and see him, one day he said that a group of people would like to come and see you. So I went over there to my office, and these two people came up. One was from Australia, and one was from Singapore. And they said that we have a proposal. And I said, what's the proposal? They said, we would like to set up a cycling group.
Manu Chandaria, right? They're talking about, the philanthropic exercise that will be happening in December. And of course, he is speaking during the launch of that Santa Run that will be held so that they can collect funds, food items and clothing for people who are not able